All right. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch on this first day of June 2023. Happy Madaraka Day wherever you're watching us from. It is a day that Kenya is celebrating 60 years of self-rule for the first time under President William Ruto. Amidst mixed feelings on the state of the economy, the head of state has continued to drum up support for the housing fund, calling upon Kenyans to make the sacrifice for fellow Kenyans, giving an example of our forefathers who showed their patriotism in fighting for the country's independence. On the other hand, some Kenyans are a disappointed lot, saying there is nothing to smile about in the country. Well, let us take you through some of the highlights of the day. I'm Tess Njenga, and our sign language interpreter tonight is Elizabeth Wanjiku. Pomp and color marked the 60th Madaraka Day celebrations held in Embu County at the new Moi Stadium. From as early as 4 a.m. when the stadium gates were opened, Kenyans from all walks of life made their way to the venue to witness the occasion. The occasion is considered to be special as it was President William Ruto's first Madaraka Day celebrations since he was sworn into office last year. Comoros President Azali Assoumani, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, Cabinet Secretaries Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire, Members of Parliament, former President of Niger Issoufou Mohamedou graced the occasion as county governments also marked their Madaraka Day celebrations. Our reporter Dolly Murigi tells us more.
Citizens were eager for the 60th Madaraka celebrations, which was the first Madaraka Day celebration of President William Ruto since taking the oath of office in September 2023, started arriving at dawn. Madaraka Day celebrations were held at Moi Stadium in Embu County to mark 60 years since Kenya gained independence in 1963. President William Ruto was accompanied by First Lady Rachel Ruto, arrived a few minutes after 11 a.m. in the morning and inspected the Gede of Honor. This is the third national day that Ruto has led since he was sworn in September last year. After the national anthem and the East African anthem was sung, he continued to inspect the Gede, where he proudly walked past the army. On the platform where the president and other guests sat, there were white, green, red and black decoration representing the colors of the Kenyan flag. Comoros President Azali Assoumani, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, Cabinet Secretaries Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire, MPs, former President of Niger Issoufou Mohamedou, Chief Justice Martha Koome. Speakers were also present as county government also marked the Madaraka Day celebrations.
Today, as we gather in the spirit of unity, I stand before you to express profound gratitude on behalf of the people of Embu.
I know that the people of Kenya are very generous people and very happy people.
Aujourd'hui, au nom du peuple et du gouvernement comorien,
today I speak to you on behalf of the people of Comoros,
mais aussi au nom de l'ensemble du continent,
but also on my own behalf,
pour vous souhaiter une très belle fête de Madaraka.
To wish you an excellent Madaraka Day.
First Lady Rachel Ruto wore a lovely off-shoulder kitenge dress. The kitenge fabric, renowned for its vibrant patterns and rich cultural heritage, has long been associated with the African fashion. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua's wife, Pastor Dorcas, stepped out looking elegant in a long golden print dress with a unique design on the shoulders. Kenyans were entertained by a long list of artists who were at the event. Dolly Miriki Mbuvi for Hope TV.
Thank you, Dolly, for that report. Now, Kenya has today marked its 60th Madaraka Day celebrations in an event set aside to commemorate the fallen statesmen and women who fought for the country's independence. President William Ruto, while presiding over the event, took the opportunity to affirm the reforms and interventions that his government has taken to address various issues affecting Kenyans, among them the high cost of living. Tiffany Wamboi brings us that report.
60 years after the struggle for independence, Kenyans are more than ever continuing to grapple with a struggling economy and a possible finance bill that will push Kenyans to dig deeper into their pockets. Yet the government of the day has continued to assure its citizens that the current proposed reforms will steer Kenya to a better future and a more stable economy. President William Ruto has continued to back the proposed housing fund contribution of 3% by taxpayers, saying the move is an opportunity to uplift Kenyans residing in informal settlements and further provide job opportunities.
The objective of affordable housing is to increase the number of homeowners and to transition more Kenyans from rent-paying in informal settlements, in slums, and we have 1,411 slums in Kenya. We should transition those people, my countrymen and women, into homeowners. They should live in dignity like the rest of us because we owe them a duty of citizenship and a duty of comradeship as we live in one country.
The head of state, while making his remarks during the Madaraka Day celebrations in Embu County, stated that it is the country's responsibility to ensure that every Kenyan has access to quality, affordable housing.
It is our business because the 5 million young people are our children. They are our citizens. They pay taxes. And when we transition them into jobs, we are building a bigger pool of taxpayers. The conversation we have today in Kenya is different. I did promise the country 3 years ago that we are going to change the conversation.
The country chief further noted that the aim of the affordable housing plan is to transition Kenyans living in informal settlements to quality housing facilities.
The objective of affordable housing is to increase the number of homeowners and to transition more Kenyans from rent-paying in informal settlements, in slums, and we have 1,411 slums in Kenya. We should transition those people, my countrymen and women, into homeowners. They should live in dignity.
His sentiments were echoed by his deputy, Rigathi Gachagua, who expressed confidence in the measures undertaken by his senior in attempting to stabilize the economy.
Your Excellency, we want to encourage you. The measures that you have come up with to get back the economy of this country on track through prudent and pragmatic interventions is what will bring about the third liberation. Your Excellency, we want to encourage you that millions of Kenyans desirous of economic prosperity are fully behind you.
The economic interventions by the Kenya Kwanza government, including the Finance Bill 2023, have come under heat as various leaders and a section of Kenyans have protested the tax reforms that will further choke households and increase the cost of living. Tiffany Wamboi, Hope TV, Nairobi.
Much appreciated, Tiffany. Now, even as Kenya marked 60 years of independence with Madaraka Day celebrations being marked in different parts of the country, a section of Kenyans said they did not have anything to celebrate following the high cost of living. Our reporter Alice Diana did a spot check on how the day went down in Nairobi and spoke to some of the residents and has filed for us the following report, with President William Ruto saying he is having sleepless nights.
As Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja led a section of Nairobi residents in marking the 60th Madaraka Day celebrations at Jokadenge Stadium, formerly known as City Stadium, majority of the city dwellers decided to continue with their usual business, saying they have nothing to celebrate. In Nairobi's Central Business District CBD, it was a beehive of activities, with majority of shops in different streets remaining opened. Things were also the same in Kangemi area in Westlands constituency, as majority of the residents decided to continue with their daily work. Even though some Kenyans have celebrated this 60th Madaraka Day in pomp and color, majority of the residents of Kangemi we have spoken to say they have nothing to celebrate following the high cost of living.
Hata sikuwa nakumbuka kama kuna sherehe. Unajua maisha vile maisha inatupeleka. Niliamka tu kama akili ananiambia enda shambani, fanya kazi, kumaliza rudi kwa nyumba pumzike. Na vile pesa zimekosa, unajua sasa lazima ufikirie vile unaweza tengeneza pesa. So mimi nikaamuka, nikatoka, nikasema tu hata niende kwa shamba. Na sasa nimepita kwa soko, nipate kitu ningile kwa nyumba nitulie.
Sijasherekea. Ukweli wa maneno sijasherekea kwa sababu hii ndio sherehe ya kwanza kuona ile mbaya zaidi katika maisha yangu. Sijaiona sherehe kama hii mbaya namna hii. Maisha imekuwa ngumu zaidi kwa sababu hata kazi yenyewe hakuna. Tuliambiwa tutainuka, sasa sisi ndio tumefinyiliwa huko chini kwa nyasi kabisa.
Leo hata sioni kama kuna Madaraka. Juu hata mwenyewe ukiangalia hii kiwanja vile inakaa, sinaona ikai siku ya holiday. Hizo enzi zetu za hapo kitambo, siku ya holiday ilikuanga siku bana. Tukiwa wadogo ilikuwa siku. Lakini leo maisha jo imepanda, hii sukari ndio hiyo imepanda, ya mercury ndio hiyo. Naona vile maisha imekuja kuwa ngumu. Wananchi wa chini tunaumia bana.
Business people also decried low business, saying the Madaraka holiday has not brought any goodies to them.
Business haitupeleki vizuri for sure. In fact for me, hii Madaraka haina meaning yoyote kwangu. Cause I think kila kitu ina starting in what you have in your pocket every celebration. So we are celebrating nothing because uchumi imekuwa juu sana. Kila kitu imekuwa expensive.
Nilikuwa na matarajio makubwa wakati tulifanya uchaguzi, tukafikiria maisha itapungua kiasi. Lakini sasa ile matarajio tulikuwa nayo haiko. Tulikuwa tunafikiria watu wa mboga watajaliwa, wale wa pikipiki, wale wa hali ya chini. Lakini kwa sasa tunaona tu mambo imekuwa maisha imepanda juu sana. Kila kitu bei yake ni juu.
Biashara kama kutoka asubuhi sasa niko na shilingi 50 kwa mfuko. Na ndio hii. Na mtoto sasa atakuja hapa anataka babati, wewe unataka sapa ama lunch. Sasa hakuna kitu yote, ni kungangana, hatujui hata hiyo Madaraka.
The residents are now calling on the government to fulfill its promises to the hustlers and uplift their lives.
Serikali ni vizuri ikitufanyia maendeleo, lakini ni vizuri isikize sauti ya wananchi, sababu mwananchi wa chini kwa dakika hii wengi tunaumia.
Serikali usikize vitu, angalau hata kama ni vitu 2, 3 hivyo.
This even as President William Ruto in his speech said he is having sleepless nights as a result of the high cost of living.
Mimi nataka niwahakikishie tutashikamana, tutafanya kazi pamoja ili tutimize malengo yetu ya kubadilisha uchumi wa Kenya na kuhakikisha kwamba kila Mkenya anapata nafasi ya kujiendeleza katika taifa letu la Kenya.
The residents of Kangemi area are hoping that President William Ruto will be able to bring down the cost of living in order for them to celebrate the 61st Madaraka Day celebrations next year in pomp and color. For Hope TV Newswatch at Kangemi area in Nairobi County, I'm Alice Diana.
Thank you, Alice Diana, for that spot check and report. Well, President William Ruto has launched the second phase of the Hustler Fund meant for small groups and SACCOs. The group micro enterprise loan products allow members to apply for between 20,000 shillings to 1 million. The head of state says this second product of the Hustler Fund will enable groups to overcome exclusion and barriers to participation in credit, savings and social security, among others.
Not a single shilling has been stolen through corruption, and borrowers do not need to know anyone, bribe any official, or go through any complex bureaucratic procedures to access the Hustler Fund. They only need a device, a little airtime, and a few minutes, and they are all able to get money wherever they are. The second product of the Hustler Fund will usher our unique collective-driven competitive market enterprise to the online domain. To promote inclusion, the Hustler Fund is going to deploy groups such as chamas and SACCOs, overcome exclusion and barriers to participate in credit savings, social security, health insurance, and other socioeconomic amenities. This is how we will use policy and technology innovation to mainstream our way of life. We are committed to leveraging fintech in ensuring that no one is left behind in the financial and entrepreneurial inclusivity revolution. I am delighted to announce that today, during this celebration, I shall be launching the second product of the Hustler Fund, which is aimed at facilitating people access funding through groups. I am sure that this will be very good news to my good friend Shiko in Ruaraka Market, who, like many informal business entrepreneurs, were ready for this innovation even before we launched the first Hustler Fund product.
And on that note, let us take our very fast break on Newswatch tonight. Don't go too far. We have plenty more coming up.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content, of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Because women talk more and they are not very strong physically, when they want to hurt their husbands or their children or anybody, they use the tongue.
Families under God.
How can we continue to live carelessly in ease?
Join Reverend Dr. Judy Mbugua as she imparts families through prayer, evangelism, and social transformation with the Word of God.
You know, God is not asking you to manage. He's asking you to be available. Amen. And He will make you able and capable.
Families under God, only on Hope TV.
Welcome back. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has outlined the government's commitment to boost farmers in the country, asking Kenyans to support the Kenya Kwanza government. During the National Madaraka Day celebrations, Gachagua said the government has made structural reforms in the agricultural sector in a bid to stimulate farming. As he paid tribute to the heroes and heroines of Kenya, The Deputy President also called upon the President and other leaders to ignore their detractors and remain focused on improving the economy in Kenya.
Your Excellency, we want to encourage you. The measures that you have come up with to get back the economy of this country on track through prudent and pragmatic interventions is what will bring about the third liberation. Your Excellency, we want to encourage you that millions of Kenyans desirous of economic prosperity are fully behind you. We want to encourage you that many Kenyans, though quiet, have confidence that the measures you have come up with will improve the welfare of the Kenyan people. We want to urge all Kenyans to allow our President an opportunity to steer this country back to economic prosperity.
Embu County was privileged to host the 60th Madaraka Day national celebrations. Speaking during the celebrations, host Governor Cecily Mbarire thanked the head of state for the honor of picking Embu County to host the national celebrations, which has led to an improvement in the county's infrastructure. The Embu governor also called on the president to consider upgrading some of the technical universities to full national polytechnics.
I stand before you to express profound gratitude on behalf of the people of Embu County for your esteemed government that has been extremely valuable in supporting a lot of development projects in this county. We've been able to get the magnificent stadium that we are in today that has been built in a record 15 weeks, Your Excellency. We are excited and happy about this opportunity, and we look forward to the new Jokere International Stadium that I know is in the pipeline, Your Excellency. I wish to request you to consider our topmost technical institute, the Jeremiah Nyaka Technical Institute, which is one of the best technical institutes in the country, that you consider it for upgrade to a full national polytechnic.
Apart from the national celebrations in Embu County, governments also hosted their own events to mark one of the most valued memories in the country's history. In Bungoma County, the celebrations were held at the Kimaiti Primary School in the Bumula constituency, where the politics of the 2023 Finance Bill took preeminence as the leaders present disagreed on the bill. The issue of sexual violence and female genital mutilation, FGM, also emerged as a major issue in the county, with Deputy Governor Jennifer Mbatiani calling on the government to invest heavily in the fight against gender violence.
Mambo inapatikana tu dakika ya mwisho na iko mambo inafanyika hivi alafu wanapiga kura. Lakini wewe uende uongee kwa niaba ya watu wa Bumula walikuchagua. I cannot be leading a county that is leading kwa mambo ya gender based violence. Lazima hiyo tubadilishe na tutasaidiana sana kupigana nayo na mambo ya FGM vile wamesema.
Moving on, more than 400 residents from Cheptais sub-county of Mount Elgon in Bungoma County have received free treatment for various diseases with funding from CDS International in partnership with Cheptais County Hospital. Speaking at the medical event, CDS International President Muhammad Berry said the treatment was for all, noting that as an organization they intend to develop the treatment across the country and beyond.
Nimefurahi kwa sababu ya matibabu. Sijapoteza hata ndururu. Na ninaomba muendelee kutuhudumia ili kwa sababu mambo ya charges kule ni mgumu sana.
Nimefika hapa hivi, mtoto amekuwa examined, tumepewa dawa.
We're doing primary care. The doctors and the nurses are doing general checkups
We're also providing medications for those cases. Advanced cases are going to be referred to another hospital. We're so excited to be here. This is our first medical camp. Hopefully in the future we are going to be planning more medical camps.
Hope TV is where you look and live, with an excellent selection of the best Christian programming consisting of local and international content of inspirational stories, talk shows, Bible commentary, youth, health shows, children entertainment, contemporary gospel music, extended times of worship, live broadcast, news, movies, drama, Christian ministry programs, and so much more. Hope TV is another quality service from Christ is the Answer Ministries, with over 45% of authentic and credible local content every week. Hope TV is a sister station to Hope FM, Kenya's leading Christian radio station, with footprints across the country. Tune in to Hope TV, where you look and live.
Welcome back. Now in Business to Matters Transport, President William Ruto has announced the development of a new transport system to lower the cost of transportation. In his Madaraka Day speech at Moi Stadium in Embu, Ruto revealed that the government was at an advanced stage of launching an electric vehicle and motorcycles public transport system. The move is aimed at addressing the high cost of fuel in the country.
The cost of fuel locally rises steeply. Transport, as a component of household budget, is affecting the cost of living. We have to liberate Kenyans from the reliance on transport that depends on petroleum. For this reason, we are rolling out an electric vehicle public transport system which will bring down the cost of transport significantly. Our border industry is about to experience inclusive transformation through the introduction of more efficient, affordable, and clean motor vehicles. With this intervention, owning and operating a border will become affordable, secure, and profitable. I am eager that this information reaches the seconder of my presidential nomination, Mr. Calvin Ochieng, who operates in Kilimani, so that he can escalate his hustle to the next level.
And Twiga Foods Limited has announced the transfer of its rights to the development of the Galana Kulalo Food Security Project to Celu Limited, a company established to develop, manage and operate the project. Celu is currently undertaking the development phase covering 500 acres and targeting to achieve above 9 metric tons per hectare, 4.5 times the Kenyan average yield. The average yield of maize in Kenya is about 2 metric tons per hectare, with the global average yielding between 5 to 6 metric tons per hectare. The Galana Kulalo farm has yielded about 7.2 metric tons per hectare in past trials.
What we've set out to do is to improve grain production in Kenya. So through this project, the goal is to improve the yield of maize on the continent in order to pretty much drive down prices of a staple food and make it affordable for the Kenyan consumers. So speaking about what we've currently done, the trial planting phase is pretty much the segment where we're developing 500 acres of the farmland as a way to kind of test out the different inputs and crop regimes for us to establish what's the best mixture and combination of those for us to be able to meet the yield that we are targeting. And right now we're targeting about 9 metric tons per hectare of maize to be grown. So we've kicked out the first phase of the planting for that. A few of the things we're hoping to establish from the trial phase includes identifying the right brand of maize to use that would actually get us a 9 metric ton yield. establishing the right fertilizer and crop rotation regime. Right, so the thing about planting is that, yes, you may have to plant maize as the main crop, but in order to sustain the soil, especially in those regions, you have to find the right regime and also the right cover crop to plant on it. So during the trial phase, which is expected to last about 4 months, our goal is to be able to test out different mixtures of crops, fertilizer inputs, chemical inputs, soil, cover cropping, in order to establish which is the right combination for us to pretty much reach the targeted yield of 9 metric tons per hectare.
Now in sports, Diogo Dalot has signed a new 5-year contract at Manchester United. The Portugal right-back has agreed terms of a new deal that will keep him at Old Trafford until June 2028 with the option for another year. Dalot is one of a number of players who have improved under Erik ten Hag, having faced an uncertain future at United when he went out on loan to AC Milan in the 2020-2021 season. Sevilla claimed a record-extending 7th Europa League